Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are our stories and adventures. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And on to today's project. So I've gotten through and have all the in-ground boxes built. So you've got a bed there, walkway, bed, walkway, bed, walkway, and the bed. And it is U-shaped. So back here the bed just continues all the way around. So today I've got to go through, and because all the hills that I had from last year, the chickens scratched down and leveled out, clean out the walkways to fill the beds and get the beds settled down in where they're going to be, and hopefully the ground's not frozen. So let's see if we can get these beds set in place. So the hardest part about doing this, and hindsight, if I knew exactly where the beds were going to be, I would have dug a trough to lay the boards down to begin with. But because it was a kind of free floating idea of what we're going to do, I had to get them built and go back and dig the troughs around. Basically, it's so when I'm watering, it's not just going down the edges and straight out. It'll help keep it in, since I am removing soil out of the walkways. But now I've got to go get a bundle of stakes and some screws and get these staked into the ground, screwed down so they stay nice and tight, and finish getting the walkways dumped into this one. So I'd say my biggest takeaway with doing this is definitely should have dug the trenches first, and since we still have all of those beds to do, and I do have to clean up the edges of those because of grass, definitely gonna get the troughs dug in before we finish assembling them. Makes it a lot easier, but just gotta go through, finish getting this one, the sidewalk or the walkways cleaned up, getting it filled up and some shavings down, and it will be ready to plant my brassicas in a couple days. Well, now that I've gone through, got the beds all leveled out with their soil, have to go get the soaker hoses and get them put in so I can get the shavings down. As the wind picks up. Sorry about that. So went through, got the soaker hoses serpentine down on the beds. I'm about 4 feet short on this bed, which I think will be fine. All else fails, we can add a little hand watering to it. But I like using soaker hoses because they leach out about 6 inches around from where they're at for watering. So in our 18-inch beds, having the double soaker hoses pretty much gets it all watered. I've never really had an issue with the beds drying out. But that step is done here, so get the shavings and get it covered so no weeds grow. Well, I think Master Yeti approves of the pine shavings. But went through and got all of the beds done. They look really nice. That was a lot of back-breaking work, but only have to do it the once. So, kind of show you what I got going on, and I'm gonna have something exciting to show you. So let's take a look. So in this pot is my spearmint, and it is slowly coming back. There is a couple little spots of green, so that looks promising. And over here is my peppermint, and it's got a whole bunch of green coming up in it. But this is the other bed. Got it, the soaker hoses in, got the walkways and everything all shavinged, so it's ready to start getting planted. And you may be wondering why I used fresh brand new pine shavings in here when I've got the used pine shavings in the chicken coop. Well, chicken manure is hot, a hot compost, and can burn the plants with too much nitrogen. I will be taking the heavy deposits and adding it to the composter to break down, but the newer in-ground gardens need a lot more help than this one does. We've been building on this bed for like 5 years now, so the soil over here is really good. Was full of all different types of earthworms, so I feel pretty confident that this one should do really good this year. But last fall, let's go over and take a look at what I did. Last fall in this really big bed, I planted kind of late, or technically really late for our area, some elephant garlic. And just on a hunch, I just moved some of the shavings to see if anything was going on. Let me remove the shavings again. I'll bring the camera in close, and I've got elephant garlic growing. And I'm not going to point with my finger because then the camera will focus on that, but let's take you in so you can see. I'm zoomed in too close to see. Okay, I lied. I am going to point with my finger. Sun's in the screen, but right there I've got elephant garlic coming up. Don't remember how many I planted in here, where I stopped on, because I know I only did a partial batch of it over here, so we'll just have to wait till it breaks the surface to see where I'm at. And in case you wonder if I listen to anything music-wise or anything while I'm videoing, not really. I like the quiet. I love the barnyard sounds, so I listen to my silly roosters crow, my chickens cackle, my turkeys talk to me. Every now and then the geese talk to me. Muscovies are pretty quiet. But over here, my thyme plants, they don't look like they made it through the winter, so I'll be pulling those out. Probably going to pull out that blueberry and get a couple more to replace it. But the oregano over here is slowly making a comeback. This is my shade garden, and it's still pretty much frozen, so nothing on it yet. But the strawberries are starting to come back. Have a good harvest this year. The next project is getting those beds all cleaned out. So this is where I'm going to end today's video. My back hurts, but like I said, it's well worth it, especially come this summer when I'm pulling veggies like crazy out of this garden. Won't have to do it again next year, so it's a positive note that I kept telling myself, but boy does it hurt today. So that's where I'm going to end it. I will see you on the next one. It's garden time, so lots of garden videos coming up. Talk to you guys later. Bye for now.